Hello, this is Sensor Gambino here with a new stream. And in this stream I'm going to be going over the event week for this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. But yeah, starting off, the podium vehicle there is the BF Club, and I'll obviously be going till like late Wednesday, like very early, like Thursday, like with traditional event weeks and stuff like that. So it's obviously just a typical 1 week event week. And going into the title, obviously, there's the full release of the Baller ST. But yeah, the Baller ST, they did release it with the Xeno. The same moment they released the Xeno, they did previously release the Gallivanter Baller ST here. However, though, it was only for like a special holiday occasion where it was for free. Now you basically have to pay for it, so if anyone missed out on it for free for any reason, this is now the moment that you can start to get the Gallivanter Baller ST. I'll probably, of course, be going into more details on it later, but I already have one from when they did it for like the Festive Prize and stuff, so I'm not going to be customizing it on here because I've already customized it on the channel before. But yeah, I believe it's basically the most customizable version of the Baller between like the few of them in the game, the few to several of them in the game. It's like there's like a couple armored ones, a couple like non-armored ones that have like a low wheel bases and stuff, and then I think there's one from like the day one of the game. But it's essentially kind of the most customizable Baller. Not going into like any performance stuff just yet, that might be for later. I'll probably do my one wheel spin of the week, because I really don't necessarily care to do it every day. You know, last time I actually ended up getting that, like, Furnace Classic. This time I didn't, though. I got some clothing now. Steel Horse Satan Jacket. I'll take it. Well, that's clothing I don't have to buy if I want to, like, buy everything in this game, in a way. But anyways, here with the BF Club for the podium vehicle for the week. I believe it's on San Andreas from the Kyle Perico Ice. I think it's the vehicle within the last year of the game. But, okay, no, that was the Santos Summer Special, so it was like maybe a year and a half to like 2-year release at this point, which isn't too bad in terms of like being a very dated vehicle, I would say, or anything, compared to some other vehicles. But yeah, BF Club here, if you get it, it's $1,280,000 for the stock vehicle that you will be saving if there's a livery on it or something, which I didn't necessarily really see a livery necessarily. The livery would probably only save like another like 20, like 30, 40,000 at most, I would imagine. So at most it would probably be like 1.3-ish, in the low 1.3-ish million that would be saved, but yeah, probably $1,280,000. But yeah, the BF Club is actually a retro vehicle from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, so it is from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, so it is a cool retro vehicle to own in a way. However, though, for the performance, it's actually pretty good for the classing. At least it's not necessarily good in the entire game compared to like a supercar, obviously, but it is in the compacts class, and it's actually the #1 lap time, and it's also the #1 top speed as well. However, though, there's only like 14 compacts in the game, and I don't really necessarily see anyone doing compact races necessarily, so in terms of a compact, the performance might not necessarily be a big deal. But regardless, it is still the #1 lap time and top speed going off of roughly 1322 spreadsheet that I use for my streams and stuff. So you are actually getting pretty good performance for the class, at least. So that does make it worth it, essentially, to get it. Yeah, everyone is... Okay, there is a livery on it, it seems, so you should probably save like another like 20 to 30,000 or something, assuming you keep the exact same livery on it and don't like change it or something. So yeah, most like low 1.3 million, like I mentioned, pretty much.
Hey, Mom. Business isn't exactly booming, you know. Oh?
And then onto like time trial or Bandito time trial here. But yeah, regular time trial for the week here is Mount Gordo. Which, yeah, I think you basically go somewhere on the like track here, and then you go like kind of halfway up the mountain or something, I want to say. But yeah, obviously it's a very off-roady time trial, so something like a Manchester Scout or like a Sanchez, stuff like that. Probably be some better vehicle choices for this particular time trial in a way. Because they're the more off-roady motorcycles in the game, pretty much. But yeah, in terms of general time trials, the vehicles, of course, and like that are good in general time trials, I imagine could still be pretty good for this Mount Gordo time trial. A couple options I would recommend. The typical like average like vehicle, even though it's been dethroned a little bit with a couple new contract vehicles. Before the contract came out, the Body 801 was like a third place lap time and like third place top speed. I mean, like second place and like third place or something like that. But yeah, at the least, it's only like fourth place for lap time or and top speed as well. So the Body 801 is still a very affordable motorcycle. It costs like 15,000 to get it on a website, and it's still got some of the better performance between all the different motorcycles in the game, even though it's from like day one of the game. So that's a nice, good, and very cheap, and kind of most like average option, I would say, for a time trial to use for a motorcycle. Honestly, I wouldn't really recommend using anything else, essentially. I wouldn't really recommend using like a supercar or something, because obviously traffic's not really disabled. And in this case, you wouldn't really necessarily have to worry about traffic, but obviously like the terrain and stuff wouldn't necessarily make it all that good to use a supercar, I would say. And then another vehicle I would kind of recommend would be the new Reaver, actually. The new Reaver, the new Western Reaver. The new Western Reaver is a like 6th place lap time, I believe, which is within the top 10 still, which is okay to decent, I would say. But it is the new #1 top speed motorcycle, which in like certain straights and stuff could definitely give it quite some advantage, so it could be worth using a Reaver for the time trial. So I would say either the Body 801 or the Reaver would probably be the better couple options. Those are a couple I would probably recommend personally. And then the RC Bandito time trial. RC Bandito time trial is Cypress Flats. And for anyone who may want a guide on it, I would probably recommend like GTA Men channel. That channel, I believe, has like around like 200,000 subscribers, and I believe they have like guides in the RC Bandito time trial, regular time trials, and probably even premium races and stuff like that. So that's a channel I'd probably recommend. They do like commentary and stuff like that. I imagine it should be pretty easy to learn from a guide like that. Or of course, there's GTA Series videos, which is like a couple million subscriber channel. Which is a couple million subscriber channel, but they don't commentate, so you would have to like watch closely with what they do or something. Though quite frankly, I wouldn't really necessarily recommend a guide. I would kind of recommend just going for the time trial yourself and learning from your mistakes and stuff, and that way it might be easier to remember it for subsequent attempts and stuff. Because obviously time trials are designed for you to fill them constantly and whatnot. But not really something I would necessarily recommend for the time trials, but it's still a way to get like a one-time $100,000 per time trial, essentially. One time only, obviously, for the event week. I think on subsequent attempts it's just like 2,000 or something, which isn't worth it, obviously. And yeah, from there I'm gonna go into the car meet, and then the other typical stuff I do for the event week stream. But yeah, with Baller ST, I kind of went with a very simple design, obviously. I went with like a red and like a green. I think I kind of went like militaristic with the green, like a foliage green or like olive drab, whatever one of those like matte like green colors essentially. And obviously I did like the red livery and has like the white on it and the like festive livery that they added to the vehicle. Because it was a free livery, I was like, might as well, and plus to celebrate the occasion. Not necessarily going to change it, I'm probably just going to keep it like that. But yeah, it's obvious I went for like a red and green, like Christmassy theme there. And I did like the mint green colored headlights and whatnot. But yeah. I guess I'll kind of talk about the performance of the Baller ST, because actually when I did the previous stream, the performance wasn't necessarily like all that known just yet. From the person I typically watch. Because I don't think they were doing like performance stuff at the moment I did that stream or something. So I'll talk about the performance, I guess, here. Gotta get to it on the spreadsheet though, so that's why I almost stopped there. But yeah, for lap time, the Baller ST here is a 6th place. So it's within the top 10, but not the top 5, which is okay to decent. And then the Baller ST is actually also a 6th place top speed as well. So it's 6th place and then 6th place respectively for lap time top speed, going off a roughly 1322 spreadsheet. So obviously it wasn't going to compete with like a Tauros, maybe even an Astron. And speaking of the Astron, it seems that's probably going to be getting like engine upgrades and stuff like that, as I've mentioned in my like latest video thing I did, going over to like 9th generation, like Grand Theft Auto like 5 online like details and whatnot. But if they ever add a huge amount, if they ever add a huge amount of like good SUVs and whatnot again, like they did with this contract update, I could definitely see us maybe being dethroned in the next like year to two. But I don't know. I don't necessarily feel they usually add a lot of SUVs, and I feel the contract was like a rare exception. So it could still be kind of good for a while, perhaps. But yeah, when it's top 10 for both, and then there's top 5, like top 3, and then the number 1, it could kind of struggle in a way. And then, even though none of these are on discount, I will talk about the like test track vehicles here. I'll start with the easiest one here, being the Vapid Dominator ASP, because the spreadsheet I use doesn't really go into like the subclassing of vehicles. And then plus the contract DLC did end up like nerfing all of the like tuner vehicles, so it's hard to really get the best advice on it necessarily. But yeah, in terms of the tuner subclass, it's probably a pretty average vehicle, I would say, for the Vapid Dominator ASP. For muscle car, it's actually pretty decent. And between the tuner subclass, there's only 2 muscle cars. The other one's the worst muscle car, being the Dominator GTT, so it's at least better than that one. So it's the best of the 2 muscle cars of the tuner subclass. So for that reason, definitely could be worth getting for like street races and like pursuit races. And plus, because it's in the muscle car class, it's not like in a very huge compact like sport class essentially. It's actually pretty good in the muscle car class, if I recall as well. I think like the new like Buffalo S, I think the new Buffalo like XTS or whatever is better than it, if I recall. No, but still, I think it's within like the top couple, at least for like lap time. Not necessarily much around top speed, I would imagine, at least within like top 10. I could look at it for actual muscle car performance. I'll actually do that right now. But yeah. But yeah, like I mentioned, the Buffalo STX did dethrone the Dominator ASP as the #1, so it is a #2 lap time as of the contract DLC. Went off a roughly 1.322 spreadsheet. And then, yeah, it's an 8th place for top speed. So for the actual muscle car class, which is its main classing, it is pretty good for lap time, and then the top speed is kind of within the last couple of the top 10, essentially. And yeah, muscle cars, I feel they add somewhat frequently, so I don't know if in like the next year or so, or for all I know, it could maybe be out its top 10 or something. But yeah. I think it's a pretty good pickup. It's one of the like few tuner vehicles that is not a sport car, so I think for that reason alone, it's pretty worth picking up. Unless you're like a PS5 player, then it might be worth like not getting tuners right now when there's those like house special work vehicles that'll be coming out. And then there's the Bravado Gauntlet Hellfire here, another muscle car. And yeah, this one's interesting, and then so is the other one, because they're not actually tuner vehicles, they're actually like more like traditional vehicles in the game. They did this last week as well, where they did like 2 like more traditional vehicles, which I really like. I like that they're starting to like stray away from the tuners, at least for the test track vehicles. That would kind of like the prize ride to start being like more traditional vehicles as well, because I feel the tuners have been in, for the most part, for like almost 2 whole updates now, so I feel it's kind of just time for them to start changing up the prize ride, especially. Like, I know this one's different, but it's only because of it being like around holiday and stuff like that typically. But yeah, I want to actually see here with like the website, because it's a more interesting one here. I imagine it sounds stubborn here for the Gauntlet Hellfire. I think it might be on Diamond Casino Resort update or something, for like where it came out from. Alright, yeah, Gauntlet Hellfire, the Diamond Casino Resort update, $745,000. But yeah, as you see, it's not on a discount. I don't think any of these are. I just tend to explain them in case someone like test drives it for some reason and might be wondering, of course, like if it's worth picking up or not. But yeah, gotta find its performance on the spreadsheet I'm using here. Okay, apparently Gauntlet Hellfire is at 17th place for lap time, which is underneath top 10, obviously, which I would say is not that great. However, though, the Gauntlet Hellfire is a 4th place top speed. So the Gauntlet Hellfire here obviously is within the top 5 for the top speed, but for lap time, I just wouldn't really necessarily say it's all that worth it in these days. And actually, all of these are muscle cars, I believe, with the Impaler here. Now, this one is interesting. I think this one's actually on the Arena War website. Usually, you only hear about the like stock Impaler here, because yeah, you can upgrade it to like a weaponized version and stuff like that. So that's the cool thing with that one, at least, is you can actually get like arena versions of it with like weaponry and stuff like that, which could serve to be more useful in free mode and stuff like that. It's not going to be a good money-making vehicle, though, even if you like convert it over to like an arena vehicle, because all the arena vehicles pretty much have like machine guns as their like best weaponry in a sense. None of these like arena vehicles have like missiles that can lock on to stuff or anything. So in that sense, it's kind of not that good in terms of like free mode usage, even if you were to upgrade it to the arena, because it's not going to make you the greatest money in a sense. Like, the best thing you're probably going to be able to do with it would probably be stuff like Headhunter, maybe like Sightseer, and like other like VIP work and stuff like that. I feel it's one of the more like niche weaponized vehicles in the game in a sense. But anyways, this is about the Impaler here. But yeah, the Impaler for lap time is actually in 9th place for the stock Impaler here. For the stock one, 9th place, that is within the top 10, but just barely, so I wouldn't necessarily highly recommend it. And then top speed is actually 17th place, so in 9th place lap time, 17th place top speed. So it can be okay, I guess, for the stock one even. But the main highlight of it is obviously the arena upgrades, which is nice. But obviously it's just a stock one here. But do keep in mind it can be converted over to the arena. And yeah, prize art challenge this time around. First of all, the vehicle here is the Albany Roosevelt, because obviously it's like Halloween, not Halloween, but Valentine's themed event week. Not sure why I had Halloween in my mind for some reason, but yeah. It's the Roosevelt from 2014. It's not the new. It's not the newer 2015. I think it was 2016. It's not the newer 2016 Roosevelt Valor. That one's on a 40% off discount instead. This one's just the prize ride vehicle. But I don't think it's on a discount, so if for some reason you want the regular Roosevelt, this is the best way to go about getting it this event week. And the challenge isn't all that bad from what I've heard. But yeah. The challenge is particularly with the Street Race series. And that involves placing top 1 in a Street Race series race for 3 days in a row. And in my opinion, the only bad part about it is the 3 days in a row, so you gotta be kinda dedicated for it. And obviously you have to start it at a certain point in order to even be able to obtain it. It's not something you can just do in one day. But yeah. Street races, those are a minimum of 2 players. But yeah, street races are very easy to find. They have street race followed by hyphen and then followed by their unique name essentially. But yeah, the thing with street races is they're a minimum of 2 players, so even if you have to win it, it's not necessarily that bad if you're playing with a friend or something and you can switch wins or something like that. And even if you're playing with randoms, you should win one eventually, I imagine within a half hour to an hour or something. So I imagine it should be pretty easy to accomplish, no matter your situation, essentially, if you're wanting to go for it. So honestly, I feel the effort's kind of worth it, plus you'll get some Carmi reputation on the way, which is quite nice. And obviously if you fail getting first place in some races, that kind of equals more reputation since you're having to go for the challenge for longer. So it could be kind of a productive one to go for in that way, in that sense. And yeah, it's actually a sport classic vehicle. So I'll go over the performance. And being a non-tuner, there is definitely more detail, I would say, to go into in terms of performance. But yeah. The regular Roosevelt for a lap time situation. Gotta find it first of all. Alright. The regular Roosevelt for a lap time going off of roughly 1322 spreadsheet is 30th place. And then top speed is also 30th place actually. So it's significantly below the top 10 for both lap time and top speed. So obviously you're not really going to get good performance. I imagine just looking at it, people would expect not to get good performance for the Sport Classic class anyways. Because kind of the best vehicles in terms of the Sport Classic class, I believe, tends to be the classic-ish, supercars from Vice City and San Andreas and stuff like that. I've auto's kind of what tends to be on the top for at least a lap time for the Sport Classic class. So yeah, obviously it wasn't really going to compete. But yeah, Roosevelt here. I do want to show the price that you'll save and whatnot, because it's actually not on discount. I think it's $750,000. But yeah, it is $750,000. And the interesting thing with it is it's 6-seater. So obviously you can see it obviously has 4 seats. But 2 people can actually hang on the sides of it, which is super cool. And people on the sides of it might be able to use like LMGs and like assault rifles and stuff like that. So the people on the sides might be able to use like better weaponry because they're like more exposed and stuff like that. So it's kind of unique in that aspect as well, and besides for being like a festive, like holiday-ish like vehicle. And then here's where I'll go into like the money opportunities and like the login rewards. Gotta find out what all of it is first. Alright, there seems to be like 1 login reward, maybe like 2 in a way. Or actually, some of it is like free discounts, which I'll go over with like the discount section. But yeah, there is a login reward I want to show off. And it was actually new for me, so I assume the like method they gave it out before was not a very like fun one to go for or something like that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I did there and whatnot, but yeah. And yeah, by the way, the car meet, obviously you can only do like the car meet clothing, not the car meet. And you can't really change like tops and whatnot in the style section.
Sup, amigo?
But yeah, the login reward was actually new for me, so I figured I would show it off kind of. Plus, I was kind of going to maybe show it off anyways. Yeah, I guess I accidentally went past it there. Special tops. Okay. Oh, I didn't notice it was in there, but yeah, I think it's movies. But yeah. Login reward for the event week here is the many whys of Alfredus mixture here. Some kind of like movie thing. Maybe like something like Fred Pictures kind of thing going into like the murder mystery from like the story mode or something like that. Could be something to do with that all. For all I know, I'm not really too sure what it's all about, but yeah. Either way, just a simple login reward here, and just you could literally just get in the game, just get all of your like property or whatever for a moment, and the like pop-up will appear basically. And if you want to save like right away, like right after all that, you can just like change clothing or something like that. And I think it forces like a game save essentially. So if you want to just quickly get like the login reward, and for some reason you can do that. Just get all property. Just get all property. Wait for that notification, and then like switch clothing so the game is like forced to save. if for some reason you don't really want to spend much of any time in the game for the week. And yeah, from there should be money opportunities and then discounts. Like I usually do, I'll probably start with the ones that are on the pause menu and then work my way towards the harder to explain money opportunities. Because yeah, this game obviously doesn't have a benefits section like GT Online does, which makes it a bit harder to explain some things and whatnot. But yeah, first of all, in the deathmatch section, believe it or not, there's actually a money opportunity. They don't really do much of anything with death matches, but obviously this time they did because there is one very like Valentine's Day themed deathmatch here, and that's Shotgun Wedding for 3 times money in RP. And yeah, the payout obviously for a deathmatch, a very simple like deathmatch kind of game mode, the payout's obviously not going to really be that good. I imagine even if you're in like a full lobby of like 12 or whatever, it's not really going to be that good. And it does seem to be a forced team deathmatch, so there doesn't really seem to be a solo option, unless you can change that or whatever. But yeah, that could be kind of an annoying thing if you have like sucky teammates and stuff like that. But honestly, if you want to do this any like moment at all, I would probably do it now. It's very rare for Rockstar. They don't really even tend to do anymore to do like money opportunities on death matches. I can't remember when they did like the last time they did like death matches across the board. They don't really like do that. So the fact that even one death match has a money RP thing is definitely pretty nice. Can't say I would really recommend it though, because the max payout would probably be like 100 to like 200,000. I would imagine at like most, just a like rough estimate kind of area kind of thing. And that depends on like the amount of rounds and like how long it lasts and stuff like that. I'll actually show something here that they did. They actually mentioned this when they mentioned like the expand enhanced like details of like the house, like special work vehicles and like the career builder and like other kind of stuff like that, which I did a video on like a week ago at this point. But yeah, the short trips are now in this mission list here. So that's short trip, fire it up, short trip OG Cushion, and a short trip Seed Capital. And this was exactly the way I was expecting them to do it, similar to like the Repo Works and stuff, where they do like short trip followed by the hyphen, followed by the unique name. It's a pretty nice, easy way to find it in the menu, which is quite awesome. But yeah, personally I haven't played these yet, so I might do a stream playing them sometime during the event week. But yeah, short trips, those are basically like contact missions that seem to like feature Franklin and Lamar. I think one player plays as Franklin and like one player plays as Lamar. It's kind of similar to that like double down adversary mode that they ended up releasing for you to drip feed and stuff like that. I would assume so. But yeah, obviously I didn't like watch the full missions and stuff because I didn't want to be like the most spoiled on it or anything. But yeah, I imagine they're pretty fun and they should now be a lot more replayable now, and there should be a lot more replayability that could be had with them. But if it's anything like the casino story missions and like the lowrider missions and stuff, even with them being on the pause menu, I don't necessarily really see them being all that worth doing in a sense. And yeah, it's only 2 times money RP. And at most, a traditional contact mission like payout tends to be like 23,000, like $100, I think, on like regular money or something like that for regular money. So on double money, I think that would be like 46,000, like 200. Now you can maybe make that maximum, assuming it has the same way of payout as like the repo works and like the dispatch missions and stuff like that. So I don't know, some of the story missions tend to have like some of the like worst payouts between all the like contact missions as well. So maybe that could be more like 30 to like 35,000, maybe 40,000 if you're lucky or something. Not really probably worth all the effort, to be honest. But either way, very nice to see them added to the mission list. That's kind of going to be annoying. That's kind of going to annoy me as someone who does like my contact mission content series. I still have to do my part of the like super yacht life missions, but like, goddamn man, I really kind of don't want to do any more like contact mission like video stuff. Even though I haven't really done like much of a like video aside for like the typical newswire video, I feel, for like a while. Cause yeah, there's a lot of money to be made in this game to purchase vehicles and stuff. I kind of want to get as many vehicles as I can before the expand enhance comes out on March 15th. And also save up, obviously, for the new, like, 10 vehicles, or at least half of them, or something. Depends on how much I want to get and whatnot. Plus, also, I haven't really made a lot of video stuff, because I have a PS5 now, and I don't have, like, expanded storage and whatnot for it. Because those fucking M.2 fucking drives, at least for 2 terabyte, I think they're, like, 300 or, like, 500 or some shit. Maybe, like, 200 or, like, anywhere from, like, $500 for, like, a fucking M.2 with like a built-in like heatsink and shit like that, which obviously I would want so I can use all my like console storage for like video stuff, so I don't have to like micromanage it with like games and stuff, all on the console storage. That's what I did on PS4, so that's kind of why I haven't done video stuff on PS5, because I don't have expanded storage and shit. And that actually wasn't all of them on the pause menu. And then, yeah, I think it should be obvious which one's going to be on Money Opportunity this time, and that's Till Death Do Us Part. That adversary mode is on 3 times money in RP. And again, with adversary modes, I feel tripled, it tend to maybe be at most like $100 or $200,000 or something like that, depending on like the amount of rounds and how long they last and stuff like that. And then obviously it can also depend on like the mode as well, because obviously different adversary modes have like different gimmicks and stuff like that to them, so some can last longer than others. This one, in my opinion, doesn't really last that long, because the gimmick with it obviously is that you're in essentially a couple, because at least you need at least 2 teams of 2 for 4 players. And the way it works is you need both team members to survive in the mode, so if one person dies, your teammate dies as well, essentially. So in my opinion, it's not a very fun mode, and because of that annoying gimmick, I feel it's one of the shorter lasting modes in the game. So I feel the triple payout would even really do it all that much justice, to be honest. Like, obviously, do it if you want to for, like, fun and stuff, especially for the regular maps that will be going away at some point. Probably when, like, March comes around, I'll probably get rid of the regular maps again, vault them again like they tend to do now. But yeah, Bunker has it. I don't think Diamond has the Death Do Us Part, no it does not, but Missile Base does, I believe, as well. So if you want some interior options for the Till Death Do Us Part mode, then you have Missile Base and then you have Bunker. But those ones tend to stay in the game permanent for the Missile Base and Bunker. So those ones will pretty much always be in the game as long as they keep the Missile Base stuff, which they always tend to keep. The ones that are definitely most worth probably playing would be Till Death Do Us Part 1 through 7. Because those ones are like outside and stuff like that, so it gives it a lot more like room for cover in some ways. I feel with the interior ones, you would obviously be more I feel the interior ones would be more like claustrophobic or something like that, so I feel it would probably be like easier to get like shot and stuff because obviously you're in like an interior. With that like sacrificial shit, whatever. Yeah, I feel the outside maps for this one are definitely going to be better options. Not just because of them like going to be vaulted again, most definitely, and because of them being up to time, kind of. But also, just in my opinion, I would feel these maps would be easier to survive in. No, I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe in interiors they would have more cover and stuff like that. I don't know. There's probably advantages to both. But regardless, I don't really feel it's not worth it. I feel it's one of the worst adversary modes, at least in terms of the gimmick in a sense. And then I gotta see what the like ones that are on the pause menu are, and then how I'm going to explain them and whatnot. But yeah, really, I feel all the like pause menu ones really aren't going to be that worth doing. Again, like with the last couple weeks, I feel there's like one that's just way better to do than all the other money opportunities. It's not like all of them are like utter trash or something. Alright. Or actually, I didn't notice there was another one on the pause menu, but there is. That's another set of contact missions. So not only is the short trips 2 times money RP, but if you want 3 times money in RP, there's the casino story missions. That'd be cashing out, housekeeping, listing, play to win, and then strong arm tactics. And by the way, the order listed on here is just purely in alphabetical order. It's not like the actual like mission order when it comes to like these story missions. Same goes for the short trips and like other similar ones. But yeah, in my opinion, the casino story missions are kind of like the worst set of missions in a way. There's some of the harder missions in the game, I would say, for the contact missions. They're not as hard as like the lowrider missions, which I think on hard mode with the lowrider missions you actually don't have like any lives to spare. But I think in this one you do have like lives to spare even if you're on like hard mode and stuff. So I guess it's not as hard as like the lowrider missions. Words in the game. Same actually goes for the short trips. But yeah, the basic payout I believe is like 16 to like 17,000 traditionally, like for a longer like casino mission on like regular money. So you could maybe make like 50,000 if the mission goes kind of long, and then maybe like 40 to 45,000 on like a lower end or something like that. For all I know on these missions. But really, in my opinion, considering the amount of effort you have to put into these like casino missions and whatnot, at least for most of them, in my opinion, are just generally not really all that worth it. Aside for like one time through. And if you haven't played the casino story missions or the short trips, there is another reason to play both of those if you've never played them before. Though it's like one time only, obviously. But yeah, with the casino missions, it's like different awards where you can earn like a set amount of money if you have not played them before again. There's even one that I don't have, which is completing all of them as a crew member, because yeah, I'm not really one to like help other people on their missions, especially when they're kind of annoying missions in a way. But yeah, there's some good money you can make here, and you can even get like the exclusive Paragon R, like armored through these casino missions as well. And they did a similar thing with the short trips, actually, with the contract. But yeah, if you complete the different missions as like both characters, you basically get some money, 100,000. Receive capital. Fire it up for Franklin Omar, 100,000, 100,000, and then OG Kush for Franklin, 100,000. OG Kush has Omar for 100,000. So you can make like 600,000 at least for the first time around on this short trip even, which is nice. And yeah, obviously you can see I haven't really done these before, so you don't have to do them to unlock them in the pause menu. It's unlocked for everybody. Also, pretty interesting thing actually with those missions, it had like rank 9999, which is pretty hilarious as a rank requirement. I don't know why they didn't just do rank 1 like with the dispatch missions and stuff like that. And I think I noticed there was actually like a team thing in there, which is pretty interesting. I don't think the other missions really like mention like there's like a certain amount of teams or something like that. So like some of the UI stuff is definitely pretty interesting with those short trips, which I'll show off again, I guess, because I just thought of mentioning it. But yeah, opens that rank 9999 teams too. But yeah, I think the order, I like mentioned it in the like award section there, should probably be the correct order for how to play those missions in terms of like the story and whatnot, in terms of story progression. If for some reason people want to play in like a specific order, which obviously I would recommend for the first time around at least. And then there's a money opportunity I gotta talk about as well in terms of like the contact list. I don't know if I can do it here, but I'll try at least.
Hey, what's up?
Alright, I kinda can. But yeah. There is also 3 times money in RP on the casino work missions as well. But yeah. When it says 3 times money in RP, I do not think it includes the casino chips, unfortunately, so it seems like the casino chips are going to be regular, because for those who don't know, the like free mode casino work, you can actually get casino chips through those, which is nice. If you want to use them like some of the like casino store stuff and whatnot. But also you can convert casino chips obviously into cash, which is nice. But yeah. My opinion, for 3 times money RP, they're not necessarily really all that worth it. It's a free mode thing, which is nice, so you don't have to like go into separate lobbies and whatnot, but there's still a better like free mode moneymaker in a way, essentially, which I'm going to be mentioning at the end. To save the best for last, obviously. But honestly, it can definitely be one of the better ways, I would say, because it is in free mode to make money. I would say it's maybe the second best money opportunity for the event week.
Did we keep the time wasting to a minimum?
Nah, actually, that's not. At least when it comes to your phone call, it is. Like, ouch, though, what a feisty good, honestly. And yeah, I don't necessarily know how I'm going to explain this one, but yeah. In a way, but I should be able to explain it. I do have the submarine out, because I was actually using it. Or actually, that's just my, like, spawn location, basically, is my Kasaka, but it does relate to that. But yeah. There is a pink diamond spotted on Cayo Perico's CCTV. I'll just read the section from the news wire, because it's not going to be the easiest to show it off, essentially, even if I were to do the heist in a way. But yeah, the mainland doesn't have a monopoly on love either. Make your way to the sun-kissed Isle of Caprico and see if you can find a way in and out of El Rubio's fortified compound. Word on the wires that the big boss's man got his paws on a rosy pink diamond and stashed it. Keep an eye out for it on the villa's camera feeds. It'll be worth a pretty penny if you can escape with it and your life intact. Now, I'm a little bit confused with it, actually. Because I think on Twitter with, like, a Tez 2 person that's pretty reliable when it comes to, like, leaking the event weeks earlier than the, like, Rockstar News wires come out and whatnot. They mentioned that it's, like, an increased, like, chance of finding the pink diamond, but the way they word it on the news wire suggests that you might have, like, one guaranteed, like, pink diamond or something like that. But yeah, unlike the Panther statue, the thing is with the pink diamond is you can actually get that unlimited times, and it's always in the game. It's not just for like certain event weeks. So I'm leaning towards it being a like better percent chance of being able to obtain the pink diamond for this event week. So while you're not always going to be guaranteed the pink diamond, you should be getting it like more frequently for the event week. So definitely do some Cayo Perico, I would say, this event week, because you might be getting some more pink diamonds. Unless it's just like a one-time guaranteed thing for any reason. But either way, it's basically better than the other stuff, even if it's only the one time or something like that. But yeah, from what I heard from Tez2 on Twitter or something, it's like an increased chance to be able to like get it like multiple times and stuff like that. Because obviously it's in the game permanently, it's just like a lower percent chance. It seems to be at a higher percent chance, so obviously for the Valentine's themed event week, because obviously Pink Diamond is pink, which is a very Valentine's Day colored. So it would make sense, I would say, for it to be increased chances this event week, so definitely go for some Cayo Pericos this week for more pink diamonds. If you do it correctly, you can make like $1 million to like $2 million per hour, essentially. It's definitely the best money opportunity in the game. Hell, even when the Dr. Dre stuff was on, like, hell, even a couple weeks ago, and like the Don't Fuck With Dre, like Dr. Dre, like finale mission gave like 2 million instead of like 1 million. That takes like 2 to 3 hours, and basically like 2 Cayo Perico heists can be done in that time, so even when that was double, even with the like regular Cayo Perico money without like increased pink diamonds, it was actually better to do Cayo Perico in a sense than it was to do like a Dr. Dre finale mission over and over again, if that makes sense. So even normally Cayo Perico basically beats like any money opportunity, which is pretty crazy. So obviously with an increased chance of pink diamond, that's obviously just gonna make it even better. Obviously, it's not as good when they did the like double on the like primary targets the one time around or whatever. I think one time they did double on like primary targets, which was the most insane Cayo Perico thing they did. But I think the pink diamond increased chances can definitely be one of the better Cayo Perico events they've done so far. So I would say definitely grind it like crazy if you can during the entire event week. I don't think there's anything else that's worth mentioning with it. I'm just trying to make it obvious like how good it is and whatnot. And last but not least, I think I'm basically going to be doing discounts, so I did end up finding this export vehicle, so I guess I'll do it, unless it's a like drug vehicle or something, which actually I think that location might be a drug vehicle, I could be wrong. Or it might be a Cayo Perico person, I don't know. If I go far from it, it should disappear if it's like a drug vehicle or something, but no, it's still there, so either it's an export vehicle or it's like one of the Cayo Perico people that's like $7,000 on them. Honestly, I hope it's still just a Cayo Perico person, because that's quicker than like taking a vehicle over to like the docks and whatnot, which obviously I'm going to do to increase my reputation. Okay, it seems to be in a parking garage, so I guess, yeah, it's an export vehicle. I thought it was in like a alleyway or something. So yeah, I guess I'll do this real quick here. But yeah, I think I know what the free discounts are, so I guess I'll mention that on the way. But yeah, there's some free discounts for the event week going on right now. I think it's like free pink, red, and I think white, like weapon tints. I think there's free pink, white, and red weapon tints going on right now for the Valentine's Day event week for these auspy days of it. Which I'm actually doing this on Friday, so I'm pretty early this time on the event week stream. And then also any of the like Valentine's Day like massacre clothing is also free as well. So if you want to get some free clothing and like free weapon tints, this is a good event week to do that. And I think all the other stuff is like property and like vehicle discounts, which obviously I'll get to that basically after I do this and maybe get back into the Baldur ST. Oh, I don't know how I did that. Okay. Unless this vehicle is like wonky hitbox or something, and somehow wasn't my fault, but I think it was because I was driving it weird somehow. Because yeah, obviously I'm using DualSense and talking to the microphone on there, so it's, I kind of have to hold the controller in a certain way and stuff. And yeah, obviously I did that for a little bit of reputation. And yeah, I did get a couple level ups from that, like, contract event week. I didn't play a lot of it, unfortunately, because my, like, PS5 charger did break, so I had to use, like, my, like, charging station, and I'm getting, like, USB-C charger maybe later today or, like, tomorrow or something for, like, USB-C to USB-C, which is actually better than the USB-A to USB-C, I think, that Sony provided, I think. Because like the USB-C in the front, I think of the PS5 is actually faster than the USB-A on the front, if I recall, on the PS5. So I didn't really take too much advantage of it because of that, but yeah. Though I didn't really want to do anything besides for the Union Depository contract anyways, and I didn't know how long the cooldown was on like doing one Union Depository contract after another. So that's also why I didn't do too much on the contracts, honestly, like off stream and stuff, because, yeah. I only wanted to do in the depository contract, because the way I thought about it is when I do other contracts, I kind of want to take money away and I could be earning for the, like, long run towards, like, rank 1,000. Or whatever, if I am that dedicated to do, like, 3,000 and 3,500 somehow. Or that would be a weird way to do it, but yeah. If I were to do more grinding on that in the future, then I would probably just do any contract, really. Just saying, for some idea thing or something. And yeah, for property discounts, I think there's just one property discount, like usual. And this time it's on Diamond Casino and Resort, so it should be obvious what it is. The Master Penthouse. And then renovations, I think, are 30% off, but I think the actual property is only a measly 20% off, which is kind of stingy of Rockstar to be putting like 20% on a property from like 2 to 3 years ago. I don't know why they're being so stingy with the discount on the property this time around, considering it's been from like 3 years ago at this point, but yeah. For some reason, the actual property is only a 20% off discount, and then renovations and whatnot are 30%. So the renovations could be kind of worth getting at 30%, but I think 20% is too stingy of a discount to be worth getting during this event. Maybe wait for a better discount in a future event if you're not big on necessarily jumping into the casino story missions or something. That's really the only good use, in my opinion, for the casino penthouse is being able to get access to those casino story missions as like a host and whatnot. I think that's really the only good use, in my opinion, for the like, penthouse. Aside from that, it's kind of useless. Aside for like the 10-car garage here, obviously. But yeah, for the floor plan, obviously the master penthouse, that's at 20% off. And all of these other ones should be 30%. Lounge area is just purely cosmetic, pretty much, obviously. Media room, you can play the Don't Cross the Line game. However, I think you can play that in like the office as well, so that's not really exclusive to it or anything. But it does let you watch free movies instead of having to go over to the movie theater, which could be nice, a small but niche, like very nice thing or something, but not really necessarily too worth it. The spa lets you actually get like free haircuts and stuff for whenever they might release like new haircuts and stuff. You should be able to get like any new haircut for free unless they don't update the like menu over there or something, and you have to actually go to like a barber for like newer haircuts. But yeah, it's a way to get free haircuts regardless, which is nice. I think it's definitely one of the nicer like upgrades here, aside for the obvious couple good ones. This comes with 2 exclusive arcade games. At the time, they were obviously exclusive, but like an update later, they did the Diamond Casino Heist, which had the like arcade, which has so much more arcade games, and then it also has these same 2. But yeah, not worth it really too much anymore. Maybe when it was the only property that could have these arcade games, then yeah, but now it's kind of pointless. Though it does also give you the bar, obviously, but not really too worth it, I imagine. Private dealer lets you play blackjack and then free card poker in your own like penthouse, which is sounding quite awesome. However, though, depending on your region, you may or may not be able to get this upgrade. Because obviously there's like gambling laws and stuff like that all across a different world, different like countries and stuff have different gambling laws that are more like strict than others. So depending on your region, obviously you might not be able to get the private dealer unless you use like a VPN or something like that. That might be a way to go around it or something. But yeah, for those that can get it, obviously definitely very worth getting if you use it. But personally, I have it, but I've never once used it. So I don't feel it's going to be all that worth getting if you're not going to use it necessarily, but obviously it's one of the better things regardless. Office. Literally just read the description, that's really the best there is with the Office here. All it does is it gives you the gun locker and the safe. The Office is pretty much just cosmetic, it's not like a full-on Office like with the one in the CO, obviously, for like the original Office from like the Finance and Felony DLC. It's not as detailed as the Office, obviously, where you can do like full-blown missions through it and whatnot. The Office obviously just cosmetic, only gives you the gun locker and the safe as the more interesting things. And in terms of the gun locker, there's actually certain properties that actually come with a gun locker. I think the nightclub, for example, comes with the like gun locker without having to like purchase an upgrade. So if you want a free gun locker, just get a nightclub, I would say. If you don't want to like own all the different gun lockers in the game necessarily. Extra bedroom, obviously probably just a pure cosmetic thing, and then the garage obviously lets you store 10 more vehicles. So obviously garage, the private dealer if you can get that one, and then probably the third best one in my opinion would kind of be the spa for the top couple, I would say. And obviously color and pattern, that's 30% off, as with all those other like renovation kind of things. But yeah, apparently actual property is only 20% off, which is kind of shit. Like usually when they do like property discounts, I feel it's usually 40%, especially when it's been on property from like years and years ago. Like obviously if it was like the agency, I would understand it being like 20%, but like something from like 3 years ago, that's not even all that like good. Even I don't really get the point of that, to be honest. And last but not least should be vehicle discounts. And yes, that was 20 and 30% off. And again, 20% very low in my opinion compared to what they usually do. But yeah, I gotta look at the like discounts here before I know like what websites to go on and whatnot. Okay. I think there's 4 websites that have discounts this time around. I think Benny's has like 1 stock vehicle on discount, and I think that's the Peyote. But I don't think the Peyote Custom's on discount, unfortunately, just a regular one here. And I think there's like a Peyote on like Severn that's on discount. But yeah, the regular peyote here is 30% off, and I saw no mention of the custom version in the discount, so it seems only as regular versions on discount. Like, really 30% off on a vehicle that's like 30,000. Why exactly would they do a discount on these days? Not even like $12,000. Like, why? Like, if they're going to do if they were going to do a discount at all, it should have been the custom one, then it could have at least been useful. But yeah, Peyote is a sport classic, and it's from day 1 of the game, so I imagine it doesn't perform good. And lap time's 36th place, going off a roughly 152 spreadsheet that I use for the performance, and then it's 33rd place for top speed. So like 36th and 33rd place for sport classic class, that's terrible, obviously as expected. And unfortunately, it seems that custom's not on a discount. Very weird Rockstar decision to do a like very stock civilian vehicle that barely costs anything on discounts and to like custom upgrade, and that would have been a lot more beneficial. But then again, when they put 20% off on the Master Penthouse from like 3 years ago, yes, it checks out. And I think Legendary were stocking Stubborn the last couple with discounts. But yeah, the Roosevelt Valor here, the Albany Roosevelt Valor is a 4th discount. It's actually going to be a hugest discount at this point. It's like all the ever discounts are like 30% off, I think, at best. And obviously, I'm not counting the free stuff. But in terms of like a percent discount, it's the best discount in a sense. In terms of like the amount you save in a sense. But yeah. Roosevelt Valor, obviously not going to necessarily perform that much better than a regular one. In terms of lap time for a Sport Classic class, Roosevelt Valor is at 26th place. And in top speed, the Roosevelt Valor is actually 31st place, which is actually a single placement beneath the regular Roosevelt on the top speed. But yeah, 26 and 31, that's pretty bad for Sport Classic class. So obviously you don't get it for performance. However, though, the Roosevelt Valor actually has some very amazing customization options, actually. Seriously, this regular Roosevelt here has like no customizations, I feel. But this Roosevelt Valor here has so many customizations, it's amazing. So if you want a very good customizable vehicle, then that could be something. But aside from that, I wouldn't necessarily get it. And again, like with the regular one, you can actually have 2 people on the sides that can probably use like assault rifles and like LMJ. It's like LMJ like light machine guns. So you can probably have 2 people using like assault rifles and like light machine guns essentially. on like the sides, which is pretty cool. Like, I want to say you can actually use those like Gusenberg sweepers actually on the sides. And I think the Gusenberg sweeper, I think, is free as well, if I recall, for the week. I think that's actually something I forgot to mention with like the clothing and then like the pink, red, and like white weapon tints. And Hijack Chameleon on discount, just switched up at the moment. And then the regular JV700W is on discount. Instead of being like $350,000, it's $245,000. But yeah, obviously it's not really that worth it. There is a weaponized version of the vehicle that originates from like Diamond Casino Heist, basically. So they did release a weaponized version of it a couple years ago, which is quite nice. So it kind of makes this one pointless now. And I'm actually not going to go over the performance because I actually did a review and guide on all the different versions of the JB700, including the one that's exclusive to story mode. I do have a review and guide on all of those. But obviously the performance is probably outdated on it, but not really necessarily sense of going into performance on that. And I'm going to say what the discount percent was because I didn't really say what it was here. But yeah, it was 30% off the JB700W. Or not the W, but the 700. But that's the previous something else. And then obviously Roosevelt Valor was 40%. And then speaking of JB700W, I wasn't actually like tripping up there, kind of. It's also a 30% off discount. Instead of being $1,470,000, because I don't think it has a trade price. I think it only has the one price. I don't think there's a trade price to unlock or anything. It's $1,029,000, so you're saying like around $450,000. A little less than that, obviously. Again, I have a whole entire review and guide on the JB700W. But unfortunately, it's not an exact recreation of the one in story mode. The one in story mode is like actual spikes that drop, but the one in the online only has like spike mines, and then you can also get silic mines on it as well, similar to like the new Amani Tech vehicles, for example. And yeah, I think silic is more useful in like a player situation, but I think the spike mines can actually do damage to vehicles as well, even if obviously it doesn't pop bulletproof tires. But yeah, it's not necessarily going to be all that useful in like free mode and stuff, even though it does have weapons. It's going to be basically restricted to stuff like Headhunter and stuff like that. That's pretty easy to do with like a land vehicle with weaponry on it. It's not air vehicle, obviously. It has like very amazing point A to point B travel. And then this is not on discount, just switched up at the moment. And then that's also not on discount, just switched up at the moment. So I think any other discount should be on Southern San Andreas here. Alright, I think there's 3 vehicle discounts left on this website. And all of those should be 30% off. Alright, yeah, 3 vehicles. That should all be on 30% off discount. But yeah, starting off here, there's a Class A Drift Tampa. Or not Tampa, but there's a Class A Drift Yosemite. Got confused with another vehicle there for a moment, actually. And yeah, there is a trade price, and all you have to do is select the vehicle as a getaway vehicle during the Diamond Casino Heist finale to unlock it. Very easy one to obtain. You don't have to use the vehicle, you just select it, obviously. because it's not really efficient to use a getaway vehicle in a Diamond Casino heist, so I wouldn't really recommend doing that even. But yeah, I'm going to look for the performance on roughly 1322 spreadsheet here for the muscle car class here, because obviously, depending on the class, I gotta like scroll through the thing again on a phone and whatnot. But yeah. The Drift Yosemite is at 8th place in lap time as of the contract DLC, so it is still in a couple placements within the top 10. And then for top speed, the Drift Yosemite, gotta find it, is actually 42nd place. So 42nd place on the top speed is terrible, obviously, for the muscle car class. But it is 8th place for lap time. But the regular Yosemite, for example, if you want like another Yosemite, there's the regular one that's like a 3rd place lap time with the contract update into account. And then the regular Yosemite also is like 15th for top speed. So there is a better performing version of the Yosemite. But again, I mean, the Drift Yosemite, I guess you expect some of the performance to go away. But again, 8th place lap time, 2nd place top speed or something. So it can be okay to decent, I guess, for lap time. Anything else, not really. And obviously, customizations, I imagine, could be pretty good. But obviously, there's so many vehicles and too little storage and whatnot to be able to know. Or, in my opinion, there's not too little storage. I'm glad it's not higher, obviously. But yeah. Next discount here is also tied to the Diamond Casino heist. I imagine the trade price gets obtained in the exact same way. Yes, it does. So I'm not going to explain that again. But yeah. It's buy it now at 1,134,000 and then 850,500 for trade price. For the moment, instead of the slash all prices, obviously. Same one for Drift Yosemite, but I forgot to mention those numbers. But yeah, I want to say the red new might be like a Sport Classic for the Mark II. I think the regular one's a Sport Classic, so I assume this one's Sport Classic or something as well. Alright, yeah. It is a Sport Classic vehicle. Going off of roughly 1322 spreadsheet, the red new Mark II here is actually a 4th place lap time for the Sport Classic class. And the top speed for the red new Mark II is actually a 7th place for the Sport Classic class. So it performs pretty okay for the Sport Classic class for lap time and top speed. It's within top 5 lap time, and then it's within like the top 10 for a top speed situation, which I think makes it a somewhat still viable option in a way. So definitely can't go wrong with this one, I would say. And then the last one is actually a Diamond Casino Resort one there, and that is the Vapid Peyote Gasser. But instead of being like 805,000, it's 563,500, and I do not think this has a trade price, so that should be the price here. So like, I want to say it's less than 250,000 savings for 30% off of that. But yeah, Peyote Gasser, that might be a muscle car, I think. If not, then perhaps a Sport Classic. Alright, that's a muscle car. But yeah, Peyote Gasser for lap time is 39th place, going off of roughly 1322 spreadsheet. So it's not good for lap time. And then top speed. And then top speed, the Peyote Gasser is actually 10th place for top speed, which makes it like at the bottom of the top 10 of the muscle car class for a top speed situation. So obviously, if there's some sort of muscle car that like comes out in the future, which I think there might definitely be one coming out with like the House Special Work Vehicles. I feel I saw a muscle car in like the image. I feel it could easily overtake the Toyota Gasser in a top speed situation. So I don't necessarily feel this vehicle has much of a better future ahead of it. It's probably going to be like under top 10 territory not too long from now, I imagine. Because I feel there would easily be another muscle car at some point in the game. But customizations, I obviously imagine could be pretty good. And I'll make sure, obviously, that that was truly all of that. Should be on the last discount that's on there. And any with zeros again, those aren't actually on discount. Kind of just goes up at the moment. And yeah, sorry if my talking was shit on this one, but yeah, I think my throat's been dry and shit. God fucking damn it. That's probably also why the stream was so long as well and stuff, but yeah. I think that is finally going to be it for the stream. That was all the discounts. Probably the GB700W is probably the most worthwhile discount this time around because it's like weaponized and stuff like that. I feel like all the discounts were more like stock, like civilian-ish, like vehicles and whatnot. And I think it's like a third week in a row with like a really good money opportunity, to be honest. It's not a guaranteed money opportunity again with the Caprico Pink Diamond thing. Unless it's like a one-time guaranteed Pink Diamond and that's it, for some reason. But if it's what I saw on Twitter and it's like a percent like chance increase on the Pink Diamond, which is normally the like rarest of the 4 normally available like primary targets, not counting Madraza Fouls because it's only on the first playthrough, could definitely be a very good money-making event week, no doubt. Because yeah, Kyle Perico, even with anything else on double money, is basically still better. Like, for example, I mentioned Dr. Dre, like, don't fuck with Dre. Like, a couple weeks ago, that was, like, on 2 times money. And with that, you made, like, $2 million. But, like, doing all the missions, I feel it took, like, 2 to, like, 3 hours. And Kyle Perico, of course, you can do, like, 1 in, like, an hour, essentially, if you're good at it. Like me, I can do Kyle Perico in, like, an hour. So 2 Kyle Pericos in, like, 2 hours compared to, like, the Dr. Dre, when that was, like, 2 million. For like 2 to 2.5 hours, I feel, on that one in a sense, at the earliest. Yeah, I definitely feel Kyle Perico beats anything, literally, like, no matter what, unless they start doing, like, 3 times on, like, businesses, 3 times on, like, Dr. Dre stuff, 3 times on, like, the contracts and stuff. So that's how insane Kyle Perico is, whether it's, like, with nothing happening with it, or even with, like, right now, with the Pink Diamond being on, like, a increased chance to be able to attain it, like, every single run for the current event week. Because that's what I heard about it on Twitter. But I don't know, the way they worded it on the newswire was kind of confusing. But yeah, apparently it's a percent chance that apparently it's an increased percent chance that you can obtain the Pink Diamond compared to, like, normal, like, during, like, normal weeks for Kyle Perico. And I think it's the first time they've done it with the Pink Diamond being increased. So definitely one that would be worth trying out. And obviously next event week stream or next GTA stream, it'll probably be on the event week. Or obviously, if I do the short trips, I'll probably do a stream for that, since I haven't done them yet on stream. But I'll probably try to do the short trips, perhaps for the event week while it's on 2 times money RP. So they're more worth doing. And obviously, if that's for that, I'll probably do more of a City Definitive Edition. Since, yeah, Red Dead's not really getting anything for, like, months and months now, in a sense. But yeah, that is finally going to be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.